my loves. Hello, hello. Just hopping on to get this live started. We're going to be talking about the full moon. We're going to be doing a reading, a collective channeling, and what else? A grounding and lots of things. So let's just go ahead and dive right on in. Really excited about this, actually. I just sat down and typed out a little bit of a channeling. I know there's more to it, but I was like, I should hop on just to say hello to everyone. So let's go ahead and ground in and say hello to our guides and welcome everyone into this space. Allowing our eyes to close, allowing our bodies to relax. Just feeling what that feels like. What does the word relax bring up in you? And acknowledging where we're at in this moment, wherever we are. How does the space around you feel? How does your body feel? How does your breath feel? As you take a deeper breath in through the nose, and out through the mouth, feeling this circular rhythm in through the nose, and out through the mouth, and again, in through the nose, out through the mouth, as we feel our tailbone sink deeper into the floor, our spine lengthen as we stretch further into the cosmos, connecting with our divine lights, within our hearts, feeling our bodies. If you want to move them, feel free. Just really connecting with this human form, observing its experience, knowing that you're the consciousness inside, you're the observer of the consciousness, you're the remembrance that is taking place within every moment, while also being the human, the self, the soul. As we ground into this moment even deeper, acknowledging protective bubbles are now placed around each of us, and everyone joining in now or later. Each of us divinely protected in our own sphere of light, of love, of empowerment. Envisioning whatever color, filling this bubble with that color, as if it were amniotic fluid, allowing you to release even more into your present moment. Feeling ourselves in this cocoon, this womb space, always within this womb space, this space of infinite creation, of infinite potentials. You can become, be, and experience anyone you want to. And as we focus our eyes, our gaze into that third eye, right between the eyebrows, allowing our spine to lengthen even more, our tailbone to drop even deeper into Gaia, holding this space, this alignment, and welcoming divine white light, and only divine white light, to stream in, to fill our human, our souls, our beings with this white light, with this remembrance, with a conscious connection to all, to oneness, to love. Allowing our hearts to melt into the warmth of love. Our solar plexus to bounce with joy, and our sacral to give big hugs. Our throats to open to speak truth, allowing any sounds to come through, any light language, any words, any affirmations. I am loved, I am whole, I am worthy, I am here, I am safe. Te akakoia tima, Aya shubiata yata. Eto rogudita dia. Era di sia motoyo. Aya kakoyashi mandandai. Era kokuin biangas. Aya oriata. Ea kokoyami india. Sto virati asta. Oro utienta. E siam vorea kaiyata yasti. Mia haeito e brutiamo tosti angia caraca erigi I pru poaistiata uruti angia camutia Julia toi cranca siara roto buon aeritiamo tiempo conecta Iritu stiamo to varapto aeritu era tiamo de ania. As we welcome in this moment, as we acknowledge and observe the moon in her glory, her fullness, her transformation, her transition, and her continual movement around supporting our emotional bodies. In this moment, we've been grounding into Gaia, and now we welcome in the space of the moon, feeling ourselves in the moon crater, as if sitting calmly, peacefully, in such serenity on the silver reflection of her surface. Welcoming any messages, welcoming the presence of her spirit, as well as the sun at this time, welcoming his rays, his light, his warmth. And from here, we continue coming back into the space, feeling the body, the soul, the song within you, singing joyous and welcomed into a new day of being human. Hello everyone. So, after that, I'm always curious if anyone has any reflections from the grounding, how you feeling now versus before, just open to any and all reflections from that. I'm just going to be getting the cards ready, just to do a quick little reading for the collective, and then we'll read the channeled message, and I'll get some more because it's not quite complete. I did feel like there was more to the channeling. I was trying to tap in earlier, and it just wants to be more live, so that's beautiful. So, let's see here. So I have two decks with me today. I have my tarot deck and my soul lesson deck. In my travels, I only brought two decks with me, so it's okay. We love it. It's perfect. Oh, so just some information is that the moon, so this full moon, which the energy of the full moon we can still feel for about 3 days on either side of the full moon, although it has already entered the waning period, so it's getting smaller now. It peaked early this morning, I believe, in Aquarius, and from what I understand, it actually moved into Pisces this afternoon. So it's actually in Pisces, but I will be tapping into the Aquarius full moon energy since that is the potency that we have been feeling. And I feel like there's a lot of messages from this Aquarius full moon. And I have like 5 placements of Aquarius in my chart, so I'm very curious just in general of what this full moon is doing. So yeah, in general, the full moon has been really good for release, and this full moon is specific. This full moon is like a special blue moon situation, which if you don't know what a blue moon is, it basically happens every 2.5 years. So the saying like once in a blue moon is just every 2.5 years. And so the energy of this Aquarius blue moon will continue, I've heard, through the next blue moon, and that's just what resonates with me, the information that I found. And since it's Aquarius, there's a lot of like transformation in both our mental ability and our emotional bodies. Our mental ability in understanding our emotions, and our emotions in the sense that we are now observing them. We don't have to necessarily embody them as much as we have been discovering. Aquarius is very intellectual, Aquarius is very analytical, Aquarius is very open and creative and quirky. And so if you're feeling any of these energies lately, just allow it and perhaps run with it. See what happens if you become a more quirky version of yourself, a more analytical version of yourself. Analytical is different than judgmental. So that's just my little 2 cents there. Okay, and as we move into Pisces, the Pisces moon will be for the next like 2 days. So just being aware that our emotions have been very analytical and that may continue, but we also are in a period now of the moon encouraging us to actually feel our emotions. So we're coming from this Aquarian new moon, Aquarius full moon, and we're moving into, okay, so now I can observe my emotions, and now I'm going to have that observance then creates this heightened awareness of deeper and more emotions. So just being aware that that may happen over the next few days at this and every month as the moon goes into Pisces. So that's my little thing about that. So let's just see what is happening in the collective. I'm literally like, I didn't plan any questions, so if you guys have any questions for the cards, feel free to drop them in the comments. So yeah, let's just see what lessons are we learning for the collective, what's going on, what lessons are happening. What's the main lesson being learned? There we go. Ho-ho! Okay. So we have keep your commitments, take a step back, and ask with sincerity. So first of all, we have 3 lessons being learned, 3 cards. And the bottom of the deck is be patient in reverse. So the first one, keep your commitments. Okay, hello. We got a nice reflection here from the light. Okay, so keep your commitments. This one specifically, I feel like, is talking about being controlled versus being in control, and also allowing ourselves to be out of control. We're learning this lesson of we don't need to be in control of everything in our life. We can allow it to go, we can allow it to flow, we can allow it just to be easy and just surrender into what this life experience can be. Yes, having the balance between masculine, which is action and doing and manifesting and all those things, but then also surrendering a bit more into this divine feminine energy of trust and allowance and flow. So that's what I feel this one is about. So just allowing not so much for people to control us, but allowing ourselves not to. It's as if the universe is trying to like guide us down this path. The universe being yourself is trying to like guide us down this path, and we're like bumping into, like when you're bowling, you like bump. You have like the railings on the side. You like bump into these like safety rails, just versus just allowing ourselves to flow down the path. So just this sense of allowance, but it's also the keep your commitments card, and so this would be more so, I guess I can keep showing, more so like be honest to yourself. This might be just dive a bit more into your self practices and make little goals for yourself. What else? This is for the collective. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so commitments being promises. So what promises aren't being kept, what promises aren't being acknowledged, what promises are being forgotten, promises to yourself, to others, to source. And these can be remembrances as well, like we made promises or contracts when we came to this life. And so allowing ourselves to really flow with those promises, and if those promises aren't aligning anymore, just open ourselves to communication to allow that to be articulated so that we can allow that freedom to come back in and not feel so obligated or trapped within that. So let's see here. And then we have take a step back in reverse. So this is an interesting one. I need a drink. Okay. So this is an interesting one because this is actually like a ring of fire, which in the cellular work that I do, this is actually a very intense protective offensive energy of we put up our protective bubbles during the grounding today, and this is, in a sense, a protective bubble, but this is like out of fear. This ring of fire is out of fear, and this would be like we have put up our protective bubble out of fear versus out of empowerment. And so are we acting out of fear, or are we acting out of empowerment? And if we're acting out of fear, taking a step back and saying, okay, what am I fearful of, and how can we transmute this? How can I acknowledge this? How can I sit with this? How can I dive deeper into this so that I'm not acting out of fear? Because this ring of fire can be painful for other people. If people are trying to get close to you and you have a ring of fire around you, they're going to get burnt. There's a potential that they're going to get burnt. And then there's the whole like feel bad and then feel like victimized and then all of these things. And so making sure that we are taking the step back and saying, okay, this is what's processing and this is what's happening. I may be in a reactionary state right now, taking a step back and saying, okay, this is what I'm feeling, these are the emotions that are happening, and this is really utilizing the Aquarius full moon and this Aquarius energy as we're transitioning. We're in like this, I'm not going to say we're actually in the age of Aquarius because astrologically I don't believe that has happened yet, but I do believe we're in this transitionary period between the Piscean age and the Aquarian age. And so in this transition, there's this feeling of acknowledging your emotions out of observance, out of neutrality, saying, I'm experiencing these things, and that's it. I'm just experiencing these things, and then acting on them, acting not out of, acting, there's a word that wants to be used. Acting through them. So if you have a ring of fire around you, you say, okay, I have a ring of fire around me, so acting through it would be perhaps taking that step back from people and saying, okay, I need to recenter myself. I don't want to burn anyone, and so how am I going to process through this? Or it could be entering into a space with people and then keeping an open communication about what you're experiencing. And so that is really what this card is talking about, and that's take the step back. So that's extreme transparency, extreme communication, authenticity, and radical honesty, really. And then we have this Ask with Sincerity card, which is, I just love this card. I wish there's like, okay, there we go. Haha, yay. Okay, so Ask with Sincerity. I absolutely love this card. This card coming up for the collective would be, let's see, there's a sense of feather here. There's a sense of asking our guides for assistance, asking our guides for, it's almost as if we're being flown around in this spiral, this remembrance, like this, it feels like this is a snow globe. I've always seen it as like a crystal ball, but today it looks like a snow globe to me, and it's like somebody just shook up our entire world and said, have fun, here you go. And now we're just here experiencing, and we're like, okay, everything that I thought was grounded is now in the sky. Everything that I thought had settled is back. And so how am I going to ground into this energy? How am I going to experience this and roll with this? That's what this card is talking about. And it's just ask with sincerity, ask our guides. Our guides are here looking over us. They are here encouraging us to dive deeper. They're actually encouraging us to ask them, like verbally ask them. This card, ask with sincerity. I do it a lot of just like if I'm like feeling low, I'm just like, I'm feeling low. But then I'm like, okay, well, what do you do about that? Ask with sincerity. Invite your guides in. Invite your guides to be around, present, and ask if you need, if you're in like this spot with that ring of fire around you, you can literally ask your guides to come for support. You can ask them to be around you. You can ask them to be physically present. You can ask them like, hey, I need like a hug. I need like physical confirmation. I need physical manifestations of comfort and security and safety and support. Like that's what I need. And just asking those questions. And this is in any and all belief systems that I have discovered growing up more Christian, was literally like, ask and it shall be given you, or something like that. And so it's literally just ask and it will, you will receive. Ask and it will be given. Ask and they will be there for you. So just ask your guides to be present, ask your guides to be around. And this is within the entire collective. It's not just you, it's not just me. See, and even just in that, if you're experiencing, I'm experiencing it, and we're in this together. And then the bottom of the deck is this Be Patient card, which has been coming up for a lot of people, I've been finding. Just this patience of time is absolutely irrelevant these days. It's kind of like spiraling. It goes really fast, it goes really slow, it kind of disappears altogether. And just being patient, being proud, being honest with, okay, this is what I'm experiencing, and in this moment time is moving really fast. So I'm just going to do what I can with what's on my to-do list or my fun list, or and in that we'll just experience what we have planned and felt into. But that is also on the bottom of the deck, so that's something that is just in the collective. It's not something that we necessarily have to like pay attention to. That's just time is being really funky right now. Yeah, so let's pull some other cards. If you guys have any comments, questions, go ahead and drop them. Let's see. Oh, hello. Speaking of, another confirmation of patience. Appreciate your insights. Ah, I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm literally right there with you. I'm like, I need to have everything figured out. No. Patience, patience, patience. Okay. So now we're clarifying what's the current like vibe? What card is the current vibe of the collective? We have Two of Crystals, balance and adaptability reversed. Okay, so there we go. So it's a nice little kangaroo energy. This card speaking more to in this moment, a lot of within the collective is experiencing kind of like a shift in their abundance level, a shift in what is considered stability, what is considered alive, what is considered material even. Like people are shifting their belief structures. Not even that the people are shifting it, but their experience as a consciousness, soul, is what is being remembered so much, and that their manifestations, their physical life is like, this is not what I'm here for. This is not what I'm here to do. And so what am I here to do? That's where the Two of Crystals comes in and says, I'm here for unity. I'm here for collective, for connection. I'm here for the harmonizing of these energies. And so when we talk, crystals is like pentacles. And so this would be something more of, in the physical sense, the spaces you're in, the places you go to, the money you have, the things you have, the people you connect to. That's what the crystals is talking about. And two being the number of unity. And I'm seeing like an infinity sign. That was weird. An infinity sign. But in a almost like it has a little like break in it, and so it's this remembrance that this is an infinity sign, and we just need to reconnect that last piece to allow the flow of abundance to come back in. Hopefully that made sense. So let's see. There is a fear that's coming up within the collective, so let's see. Interesting. I've been seeing hummingbirds all week, which I live in Arizona right now. Like, I've seen them before. I've seen in the like 4 or 5 years that I've lived here, I've seen one, and then I've seen like 3 this last week. Anyways, so the sun is the hummingbird card, which I absolutely love for joy and vitality. And so there's this sense that the collective is actually fearing a discovery of what normal could be. We're fearing like this uncovering of sustainability. We're fearing this discovery of what true authenticity looks like. We're fearing the discovery of what true empowerment in each of ourselves looks like. It's this fear of allowing. That's this fear. Both of these cards, which is so interesting. Okay, both of these cards are looking to the left, which is telling me that we are literally fearing our divine feminine, which perhaps not everyone, but as a collective, it's this like we're moving more and more into this divine feminine stability. Isn't that interesting? The divine feminine is stability, which is like the masculine energy. So we're moving into the divine feminine, which will balance out we've been in the masculine for a while, moving into the divine feminine, but it's this unknown era, it's this unknown period, an unknown space, because we've been so much programmed into not only masculinity but toxic masculinity. And so when we're moving into divine femininity, not only are we moving into the polarity of masculine into feminine, but we're moving from toxic to divine. And so it's this complete contrast to what we were experiencing, what we were programmed to experience, into this divine feminine space. So in doing that, it's just this constant fear of, I know that there's joy there, I know that there's abundance there, I know that it is sustainable to be there, but I don't know how that looks, and nobody else really knows how that looks. And so, who is going to show me how that looks? I had this thought this morning while I was in the shower. Wonderful place to have thoughts. So I had this thought, and it was, if nobody's showing me how to do something, but I feel like there is something there to do, there's something there, there's a way to do something that nobody's showing me how to, then who's going to show you how to? You are. I am. Somebody has to be the first. And if we're moving from toxic masculine to divine feminine, somebody has to show us how. And that someone is you, the self, this experience as a human. You, me, being simply observers. So who is the one that is going to show you this next step, this process? I'm just an observer. As Landon, I'm not Landon, I'm the observer of Landon, through Landon. And Landon's going to be the one who shows my soul, my remembrance, my consciousness, what this is. And I'm just here to be a little empowerment, be a little bit of encouragement. But Landon's the one who's going to be doing the actions. Landon's the one who's going to be in the dimensional planes. And I'm just the observer, observing. So who's the one that's going to be showing us this shift? Our human, the body. As us, as the observers, get to observe. Isn't that so interesting? I love my brain. But yeah, so that was the message that came through this morning, and that's that. And so let's just see. So we've been a little bit in the fear. Let's see what's some hopes that are coming in. I love it. Okay, so we have the High Priestess card, of course, speaking to our intuition, speaking to awakening abilities and remembrances and all of the wonderful, beautiful things. And today specifically, again, I'm seeing the number 2, which is all about unity, all about connectivity, and communication is what that one's about. So this is the Lynx card. There's lots of moon energy here, intuition and sacred knowledge. So this one, just in general, this card's speaking to a lot of remembrances that are about to be coming about. And so if you're spending more time in meditation, spending more time not separate from your friends, not separate from your family, but what's the word? Consciously deciding to be in union with self. And so not so much being like, I'm not coming to see you, it's more, I'm going to see me. It's not, I can't see you right now, I don't want to hang out with you right now, it's, I want to hang out with me, and so I'm actually already busy. And this is just little suggestions. Perhaps it is, because this is coming from, like, I absolutely love my alone time with me, but perhaps you're one of those people that desires that connection with people, and you really grow and blossom in those social settings. And so it's that I'm gonna bring me, all of me, into these situations, into these experiences, and see what happens if I'm my most authentic me. And in doing that, we remind ourselves of our intuition being our guidance system. Our intuition is the role that plays for us to progress, for us to transition and embody the wholeness and the truth that is us, that is you, that is me, that is truth. And it comes from us being unforgivably ourself, most authentically you. Yeah. There's something with unapologetically, that's the word, unapologetically you. But I guess unforgivably you too. Like, you're not about to say sorry for being you. I hope. Because I love you. Okay. So, And let's see here. I am gonna pull some cards just for the collective because a lot of us are in different spaces. So let's see how are each of our, as a collective, how is the environment supporting us right now? Okay, and how are we supporting the environment? Okay. Okay, so first of all, this is really funny. How is the environment supporting us? We got 13 for transformation, which I've been seeing 13 for like weeks now. 13, I was born on the 13th, and we just had a Friday the 13th, and I saw 1313 and like 213 and like a lot of 13s lately. So of course 13 is the transformation card, this little cicada. And so the environment right now is really supporting us to shed an old skin, which dives into how are we supporting the environment right now. We're learning that we need to change. So we got the wheel card. There's a lot of opportunities and potentials for change, and we just need to decide to change. We need to decide, like, to do something, and that's how we're supporting the environment right now, is to actually change, actually shift, actually make choices and decisions, not just talk about all of the things that are happening. So global climate crisis and all. But we're being supported by the environment. Like, Gaia is literally like, I need you guys to like make decisions, but as you guys are like deciding, I'm gonna help you transform so that the decision is actually aligned with where I want to go. And so she's supporting us to make our own individual transformations, to shed those old skins, those carcasses that have gotten really hard, solid, and reveal ourselves as these beautiful voices. Honestly, if you guys haven't heard cicadas, they are loud. They are loud. And I feel like this, with this card specifically being reversed, it's as if our shells have gotten so hardened as a collective that it literally our only option now is to allow Gaia to like break open these shells, these carcasses, and let us fly. And as we fly, our voices are activated, our intuition is activated, our experiences, remembrances of past lives, future lives, connections, they become easier because we're allowing our truths to be heard. We're allowing our truths to be spoken. Not even that they are being heard, but you're allowing yourself to speak it. And so you yourself are hearing yourself, which is not something that a lot of us grew up. I'm discovering a lot of us grew up not like that. We weren't told to listen to yourself. And that's where we're moving into. That's what Gaia is supporting us right now in, is transforming into this period of listening to ourselves so much, so authentically, and being so radically honest with ourselves. Do you actually feel like doing anything today? Do you actually feel like getting out of bed? Do you actually feel like going to the grocery store? Do you actually feel like talking to your friends, your partners, your loved ones, strangers? Do you actually feel like that, or do you feel like taking a break? Do you feel like stepping back? What do you feel like doing? What do you feel like not doing? That's where we're being supported in right now. So that's I actually really like that question. Conscious consumption. Yes. Yes, I've been finding that too, just like this immense, like, almost like dissociation of self and technology being the, not facet, but the kind of like the devil's advocate for that. Of, oh, you don't want to connect with yourself? Here, just scroll for a little bit. It's fine. It'll be fun. No. So, just a little something to pay attention to. Conscious consumption. I love that, Jordan. Okay, what else? Environment. We asked about all of the things. I feel like there's one more little topic to cover with the cards, and then we'll get into the channelings. Let's see. Something about how to best support our own transition. Let's see. As a collective, how can we best support our own individual journeys? Let's do this. Okay. Six of Acorns, success and triumph. So, I hope you guys can feel that already. Just the fact that the way to support ourselves is to already believe we're successful, already believe we're triumphant, already believe that we're abundant, already believe. We already are. Remembering that we already are, we already have been, we always will be successful, triumphant. We don't need to go, we don't need to do, we don't need to. Yes, those actions will come about, those processes will come about, those experiences will come about, because as we believe we're successful, as we believe we're abundant, action will just be aligned. It will just happen, almost in a sense like we don't really have to be, we don't have to acknowledge what we're doing so much, because it's going to feel so aligned that it's just going to happen. Not in the sense that we're not going to be conscious of what we're doing, but in a sense that we don't have to overthink what we're doing. Because we're already successful. Really leaning into that. And if we're not in that space, taking time to like, okay, why am I not in that space? Why am I in a different space? Why am I believing I'm not successful? Why am I, what blocks are here? What am I perceiving is keeping me from that union with success? That's already here, but what block is blocking me from seeing it as already here? So affirmations, really powerful affirmations of really simple affirmations. I am here, I am aligned, I am abundant, I am safe, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am happy, I am joyful, I am confident, I am honest, I am authentic, I am truthful, I am me, I am you, I am oneness, I am everything, I am also nothing. Just these simple, powerful affirmations. 3 words, 2, 3, 4 words, to help us believe that we're already successful, to help us remember that we're already successful. It's not even so much that it's a belief anymore. Because similar to when you have an experience, it then becomes a memory. Is that memory a belief? Or is it literally a memory? And then when you remember it, you're just remembering a memory. And that memory is, in a sense, truth. And so when we remember that we're already whole, we're already oneness, we're already abundant, we're already successful, we're not reaching for anything. We don't have to try to be successful. Our goal doesn't have to be, I want to be successful, because we already are. We remember it as truth that we already are, because you are here, because you are, because I am. It's not something to become. It's something to be. Which you already are. And so that's how we can best support our own journeys right now, is to remind ourselves that we already are. We already are. And that's within any and every moment. That feels good. I might come back to the cards for some reason. But let's get into, I wrote a little channeling for this Aquarian blue moon. So I'm just going to read it real fast. And then it's not finished. And so I'm just going to keep it going. Let's see. Wow, that's really bright. Okay. So today is August 22nd, 2021. And starts out, Dearest Lights, a wave of new understanding has come into the collective consciousness, and our parts to play are being questioned. This opportunity for deeper anchoring into known truths is a supported experience by the awakening remembrance, even as it feels contradictory to your programmings. One more time with that last sentence, because that one was like, what? This opportunity for deeper anchoring into known truths is a supported experience by the awakening remembrances, even as it feels contradictory to your programmings. I'm just going to keep going, but that's really important. Anchor to oneness, believe in abundance. Believe abundance, successful. Of course that card came out. You are opening to new waves of light stream consciousness that embody truth, love, balance, and understanding. This may feel like the scales are tipping in individual lives for either polarity, good or bad, but keep in mind the observance of you as the experiencer rather than the experience. Your divine connection has strengthened to be unbreakable as you continue. You are always connected to the divine and always have been. Now, your awareness has solidified this connection in the form of your now moment beliefs. What do you believe? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Why do you feel you are here? These questions open you to the divine as conduits for remembrance. It is all an observed experience of remembering. Remember, your light is not flickering. It is growing beyond perceived limits once placed on you. Watch as all passions align, abundance flows, wealth, love, union blossom, and action becomes inspired in every moment. Feel what feels good and do these things. No longer confined to obligation, if the should, would, could surfaces, simply observe, acknowledge, thank, and turn to continue. This is yet another beginning to the middle of an end. Linear time continues to flux, and the systems come down. So that's what came through right before I hopped on. Wow. Wow. There's just a few things. Your light is not flickering. I feel like for a lot of us, it's been feeling like, why am I here? What am I doing? Do I need to do something different? Do I need to go somewhere different? You're already successful. And if you feel you need to go or do something else, you're supported in doing that. But no, you don't have to. Your light's not flickering. It's growing beyond what you perceived was possible. Maybe that was complete. That feels really good. Okay, what else? I do feel like opening up just for some live channeling because I did say I was going to channel live. So if anyone has any questions, shoot them in the comments, and I'm just going to get settled and just open for some messages to come through. Okay. I'll just check in with the collective, what's going on as a global. I'm going to check in with the grid, like the Earth grid. Let's see what's going on there. Interesting. So normally the way I see the Earth grid is like white ley lines, and they're like crisscrossing and making like... But today, it seems like they're different colors. Around the United States is a little bit red, around Europe is blue, around the Middle East it's like really dark. China's like a orange to yellow around Russia, and then Australia is like this pale yellow. And then Central America, we got... interesting. We got white going to green. Okay, so... I wonder why are they showing... Okay, so another message of separation between countries, between people, between individuals is being reflected within the collective as well. The collective really focusing on this unification right now of we're all human, we're all here together, we're all experiencing this together. You might have different beliefs than I do, but you're still human and I still support you, I still love you. Even if it is the most dense person, we still love you. I still love you. You're experiencing your own journey and I'm experiencing my own journey. And the separation between you and me is a separation between me and me. A separation between self and self. A separation between self and divine. A perception of illusion. And as we focus on as we come together, it seems like, so this grid, the collective grid around Earth, I see it as the ley lines. And as we continue to further into our remembrances as oneness, as you, me, togetherness, It's as if this grid melts away, allowing us to really become not only one as a planet, but one on a universal standpoint. Which is so interesting, because it's not until we as a planet remind ourselves of oneness, as togetherness, as love, as consciousness, that we then are welcomed back into universal communications, I guess is how I would put that, back into cosmic connections and awarenesses. What else? See a waterfall, rocks, rainbows, hole. Okay, so this other one, and I feel like this is going to be the last one, but there is it's as if we're in a cave, okay? We're in a cave, but we're perceiving the exit of the cave as the entrance, which in a sense, that's true. We are entering into a new world, we're entering into something different than we were in. And so the exit from this old age, this perception of what was, what is trying to still be, but we're looking at this doorway and saying, I don't want to enter there, because that's really unknown, that's really scary. But when we perceive it more as this cave is crumbling, this cave is literally caving in, that's the direction we gotta go. We have to leave, exit, or enter into this new space. And it's when we exit the cave, we discover that there's trees, there's waterfalls, there's rainbows, there's forests and animals, and so much more than what was in our cave. We've been living in the old ages. And even me and you and other channelers and psychics or time travelers, we have this perception of what can be tomorrow, the future, next year. We have a small fraction of what actually is. Which is so beautiful and exciting. Okay. Anything else? Nope. I love you. Okay, let's see. Oh! Oh, yay, I answered the question without knowing the question. Cool. That's awesome. Okay, cool. I think that feels good today, so I'm just going to close the container real fast, just grounding back into ourself. We were here together, and now we are going back into our individual incarnations as individual humans, coming back to our own bubbles, our own selves, allowing light to pour in, allowing that divine connection with the universe, source, God, creation, you, to continue, knowing that it's divinely protected. As we ground into this earth, Gaia, Mother, feeling back into the body, maybe moving around a little bit, feeling into this moment, feeling into what could be, getting excited for what the rest of the day holds, what can be, what you can create, reminding ourselves of this supported transformation that Gaia is supporting us through, as well as encouraging us to make decisions, and that's in individual lives, not just in collective, big, grand, but in individual decisions as well. And at the same time, you are successful. You are loved. You already are. I love you.